Alrighty, what is up, folks? My name is Melvin, and welcome to episode 4 of Dream Journal. I am actually kind of excited to get back into this. My long hiatus just had to do with me not being home, which I guess wasn't a big enough excuse, but I also forgot my Apple Pencil while also not being at home. So that's kind of the main reason I did not do this for a while. But I think it's nice to have a decent little change from my style. Like from my routine, I guess. It was nice to have a change of routine. It actually made the 2 weeks feel longer. In that case, it actually felt pretty good that it was long. But anyways, let's start this episode. So I guess first off, I'm noticing. Let's start with this. I'm noticing more festivities. Uh, more festive feelings. Mm. So I mean, it's December. So I mean, if you're gonna feel more festive feelings, it's gonna happen in December. But I feel like it's more than last year, and I think it's just because people are seeing the brighter side of things. So people are ending conversations with, "Oh, have a Merry Christmas, have a Happy Holidays," things like that. Like people are actually excited to do something different than stay home, which is go to other people's homes because of the holiday seasons. Um, but unfortunately, I just think it was a nice thing to point out. That's pretty much all I have to say there. But I'm noticing also, uh, people are getting sick again. So of course we've been spending 2 years in a pandemic. I would argue that we are still in a pandemic. Maybe less people are getting sick from COVID, but we're still feeling the effects of COVID. We haven't fully recovered from COVID. And I don't know if we will for about at least another year, I would say, as long as there's no more, um, big outbreaks. It'll take about a year to maybe recover, maybe. And that's, again, that's that 1 year. That's with the assumption that inflation's going to kind of reverse itself. The housing market's going to reverse itself. Just kind of go back to the good graces that we had before the pandemic. Because yeah, some good things were going on before the pandemic. Like we were getting somewhere. Um, but I also do think that a lot of changes for the better came out because of COVID. I think people are sharing their voices more. People feel like they need to be heard and share their message. But something that's interesting about people getting sick again, no one cares about masks. And that makes no sense to me. Masks, I mean, again, this shouldn't be just a political issue. This should just be an objective, scientific, breakthrough or something that just when you're sick and you're coughing a lot, you should wear a mask so that you're not spreading that sickness onto other people. But just no one cares. In the United States, no one cares. But I really do think that that should just be a more edge. Like if you're coughing, just wear a mask. All right, I get it. I get it. You don't want to wear it, uh, but do you want to get other people sick as well? I think of it the same way as when you have to walk your dog. I mean, one of the downfalls of walking your dog is that you're gonna have to pick up their shits. I mean, do you want to pick up their shit? No, but do you have to? Yes. So I kind of see the same thing with masks. Like, I get it. You don't want to wear a mask. I get it. I don't think anyone really wants to wear one, but you just gotta look out for other people. So it's interesting because I was talking about feeling more festive, and the reason why I was talking about that is just because people are sharing the love. But then I just had an example where people aren't sharing the love, aka the masks. So that's interesting. Um, let's do. Emotion checkup. Let's see what I can write down. So let's check up on my emotions. So uh, where would I say my anxiety is on a scale of 1 to 10? Um, 1 to 10, I would say my anxiety. I'd say 5 out of 10 right now is where my anxiety is. So it's a little bit. I mean, my goal should always be like the goal should be 2 to 3, because anxiety is just gonna happen. If I'm ever at a 1 means like I'm probably like drinking or on drugs or something. You know, so 2 to 3 is like that's normal. But right now I'm at a 5. And why am I at a 5? Well, there's some stuff on my mind. Okay. Um, yeah, I've been thinking about work again. Certain things I don't want to bring up here because I want to keep work as private as possible. Um, but work is definitely a big factor in it. Um, I guess the elements about work that are bringing me anxiety is just I feel like there's just no say for me as an employee. My voice really doesn't matter. I truly am speaking for the company. I can't really have my own input. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there's just certain rules and structures that just make it seem like they really don't care about us. They make us have all of these rules, but then they don't seem to be in our benefit. It just seems to be to waste time, to, um, I guess add more checks and balances to say that they're doing something when in reality they're not. Um, I think every store should have not only a manager position but also an assistant manager position, something to take the workload off of the manager themselves. I don't know. I work in a big enough city. I think my manager should have a little bit of help when it comes to the tasks. And you might be saying, Melvin, why aren't you the one taking that responsibility? Because this is just one of the unfortunate side effects. I work in sales, so when I'm not up front, I'm potentially losing money. So I can't really focus on, the day to day, cuz then yeah, you lose money that way. So that's the unfortunate thing, is that my manager is not getting the type of help he needs slash he deserves, simply because I guess my business doesn't want to put enough effort into giving him a helping hand, and that kind of sucks. That's not a great feeling. Um, so it's just the rules in the system. It's not really the people. The people are fine. Everyone I've worked with are extremely fine and kind people. Even the customers, a lot of them are very kind and understanding. So I definitely like, it's just full of back and forths. It's full of, you know, I, eh, I guess it's with, and that's the thing. That's with any job. So that's why I haven't quit this job yet, because whatever issues I find in this job are gonna be in other jobs. So there's really no avoiding it. I guess here's a sad fact about my job. So 40 hours doesn't go very far. And that kind of sucks. So if you want to make a lot of money, yeah, 40 hours is just not going to cut it. If you want money, so I'll write that down. So if money is what you want, you're kind of looking at 50 hours at least, either that or a part-time job, things like that. So yeah, 40 hours is just, you shouldn't be expecting much with a 40 hour job. um you know, if you are expecting or wanting to make more money, you either work more hours, try to get some overtime, things like that. And why is that sad? Well, because I think that there's more to life than working 40 hours. I think there's more to life than being tired after work. I think there's more to life than just work itself. I think there should definitely be a better work life balance, and I think your job should definitely provide more assistance with how to live that life. Am I asking for too much? I don't think so. Um, I'm not trying to say that I'm not well off. I think there's some elements that say that I am pretty well off. Um, I guess the problem comes with the fact that how am I ever gonna? I guess I guess what I was about to say was that how am I ever gonna afford a home? How am I gonna afford a home with the amount of hours I'm working right now? With the type of salary I make right now. Yeah, I can't afford a home. But is owning a home kind of is that a passe thing? Should it be more condos or things like that? That I don't know. That's something definitely to think about. If you want money, 50 hours, I mean, yeah. Let's talk about positive vibes for a little bit. I want to talk about that. So, I think posy vibes are good. My posy vibes have kind of been a little low recently, and I'm trying to think why. Because there was a period of time where it felt like I was, kind of going in the right direction in terms of how to feel. But that's kind of gone down a bit. It's just harder to feel posy. It's harder to feel in the right direction. So I'm trying to think as to why. So maybe one is not enough focus on it. Not enough focus. What's the next one? Um, life is life is too good. And here's what I mean when I say that. So, I don't have enough of a reason to force my personality to change because everything right now is fine. So I don't feel like I'm in a fight or flight situation. So I'm not forcing myself to, feel certain emotions or anything like that. Cause yeah, when I'm down, when I feel horrible, when I feel like utter garbage, it does encourage me to kind of change that, to turn that around, to kind of give it my all. And then that's when I, start to feel the effects of it. So right now I'm not in that fight or flight state, so I'm wondering what can I do to get that again, to sort of feel that. That I'm not too sure. Um, what else? What else? What else? Life's too good. Huh. I don't know. Maybe not enough meditation as well. Oh, not enough meditation. I haven't really been meditating recently at all. And maybe I got to start meditating again. February's coming up, so my auto renewal of Headspace is around the corner there. there. It was like $60. I think it's $60 again. Not too sure. Um, but yeah, I guess that's coming soon as well. But posy vibes. when I was out of town, I definitely felt those positive vibes. It felt great. And it's still in there somewhere. It's in there. I gotta find a way to bring it out of me more often. But I'm at a good good start. You know, practice makes perfect. So eventually I'll get there. But speaking of positive vibes, so I'm doing a food for thought revival. Revival. So, Food for Thought was a show where I just put more of a focus in not only informing you, but also being entertaining. It was a show that I was really proud of when I made it. Looking back at it now, it's incredibly cringe and actually didn't do anything that I was trying to set forth. Though camera quality was, above average, and then also I had a script and I was trying to like memorize the script. So like I put a lot of effort in the editing and all that stuff, but it just didn't what I was trying to set out, it was kind of a failure. But in terms of restarting my, you know, YouTube career or whatever, it it was, I guess that was also a failure too. But it definitely was a start to something. So now the new revival, I'm kind of focusing on different elements. So there's no script, no script. I'm focusing on three different things. So emotion, passion, and knowledge. I'm focusing on those three things. So, emotion is what I can get out of you, the person watching it, or what I can get out of myself. Passion, that is how passionate, how excited, how determined am I to make this video for you? And then knowledge, how much do I know about this topic and how can I share that knowledge with you? So, whenever I do food for thought, these are the three things that I'm focusing on: emotion, passion, and knowledge. So, emotion, just think of that as my delivery, like how I'm delivering the message, how I'm getting it out to you. Passion is kind of because when I make videos, all of them have a certain passion to them. That is why they're coming out. That is why I'm giving those to you. And then knowledge is just, am I is that 10-minute video worthwhile to you, or did I waste your time by giving you nothing? You know? So it's also, I want it to be 10 minutes. That's just kind of my want, not really a required, but why 10 minutes? I think 10 minutes is so 10 minutes I feel like is that Goldilocks, not too long, not too short, in terms of what I'm trying to set out. Because if I can entertain you for 10 minutes, if I can encourage you for 10 minutes, if I can make a good story for 10 minutes, if I can be passionate about something for 10 minutes, like, I didn't take up too much of your time, but trying to make something that is 10 minutes long good for those 10 minutes, that's impressive. That is fantastic. Of course, podcasts exist. Some people can make 2-hour things entertaining. Me, I'm starting with 10 minutes, okay? So let me let me work with that. So yeah, I just think there's a lot of good things about 10 minutes. I'm not wasting your time if it turns into a bad video. I'm not wasting my time, but at the same time, I can essentially make one every day if I wanted to, because 10 minutes isn't really, it's not taking up that much time. If I'm really like strapped for time, then I either wake up 10 minutes earlier or I stay up 10 minutes later to make one. So that's kind of what I want. And then I've been experimenting with these already. So vertical videos, vertical phone videos. So I don't know if this is going to stick. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it this whole time, but I like the idea of just having food for thought be a bunch of vertical phone videos. And not because it's a meme or it's a joke, but because I kind of want to show to myself that if I am dedicated to it enough, if I work hard enough on it, um, then yes, like it's a good video. I used to care so much about having it be high quality, having it be landscape. I used to hate vertical videos. Like, why would anyone watch a vertical video when you can watch a landscape video? But all of these videos is just me talking. That's all it is. So kind of who cares what format it is? What's going on doesn't matter. What matters is you and me are having a conversation right now. Who cares about the black borders next to you, you know? So it's like, and then also I don't know why, but there are certain people that I know that are like me that are like, "Oh, I won't watch a 10-minute vertical video." So those people I'm just kind of already like kicking out, you know. If they don't have, you know, if they don't have interest to watch a vertical video, they're probably not suited for any of those videos that I'm watching, you know. If they don't have the patience for it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then I am extremely focused on um um I guess the vibe, the feeling slash vibe. I want the videos to have a certain feeling slash vibe. I want you guys to have a certain feeling when watching those videos. I want you to feel calm. I want you to feel like the world around you isn't moving, you know, that you're engaged with what I'm saying, that yeah, you want to see where it goes next, you know? You're satisfied with how it ended there, but you know, you want to see what happens the next time. You're curious. You're engaged, you know? And it's not going to be a perfect journey. I know this show is going to have a lot of bumps and bruises. It's going to be there's definitely going to be a lot of cringe. It's not the Mystery Gomez channel unless there's a good amount of cringe. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's going to be a journey. But that's what I want life to be a good journey, you know? So before I leave, I'm going to talk about an analogy that I recently think is an interesting one. So here's your life when you were a kid, okay? And then here's your life when you're an adult. All right? So you have this pie, all right? And let's just take a chunk out of that. So good, and then bad. And then, of course, I can't speak for every single person out there, but let's just use this analogy here, okay? So I think, so when you're a kid, 80% of your life had good things you could remember, good things you could focus on, and then 20% of them were bad. I'm just using that average, that analogy. There's no stats, statistics, anything like that, but just work with me here, okay? Then, when you're an adult, 80% of the things you're doing are bad, but then the 20% are good. And then bad just means like work, you know, stress, stuff like that. I know every kid's not this way, and I know not every adult is this way, but it seems like that's kind of the formula, you know. When you're a kid, everything good comes easy. It just feels that way. And then when you're an adult, that comes bad is easy. It's easy to feel tired. It's easy to feel like you don't want to do anything, like you don't want to go to work, that no one cares about you. Those thoughts come to mind so easily. I don't know why. I don't understand. And I'm going to try to figure this out more. I'm going to try to see what the reason for this is. Because it is kind of interesting. It's an interesting thought, interesting feeling. Um, But how can we make it? How can we make this 20% good? How do we get that to 30%? How do we get that to 40, 50? You know, those are really the things I want to figure out as I get older. But anyways, that's it. That's kind of a good chunk to start with. Thank you so much for coming back to this episode 4. We'll continue this. All right. We'll get back to the swing of things. And like I said, I hope to keep more posy vibes going. You know what I mean? Wherever I had that. Hope to have more posy vibes going. All right.